Greetings to everyone who has looked into this corner of the amazing world. Today we are going to travel around China and discover incredible hidden places that perhaps even many locals don't know about but keep secret. This virtual tour will take us to places you won't find on the covers of glossy guidebooks or in standard tourist itineraries. These unique natural corners, ancient settlements, mystical landscapes, and forgotten temples are becoming rarer and rarer every year, retaining their pristine beauty and authenticity. Perhaps now is the best time to learn about them before they become known to the world. China, with its rich cultural heritage dating back thousands of years and its marvelous, diverse nature, from snow-capped mountains to vast deserts and green valleys, still has many undiscovered secrets and untouched corners. We will walk through ancient villages that seem frozen in time, stroll through secluded mountains whose peaks are buried in mist, look into ancient temples built into the cliffs and mysterious caves that contain traces of past eras. We will enjoy views that leave a lasting impression, inspire us, and make us see the world in a new way. Forgotten places and amazing natural phenomena, which you will not find in standard tourist guides, but which truly embody the soul, history, and diversity of this mysterious land. If you love traveling, if you are ready to discover the world in its most unusual, untouched manifestations, if you are attracted by the spirit of adventure and the unknown, then this video is for you. Be inspired by these little-known corners of China, and who knows, maybe you will be one of the first to discover these amazing places in reality. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and put a like if you like this type of content. Your likes and subscriptions inspire me to search and tell you more videos about the most interesting and hidden corners of our planet. Let's travel these unexplored routes together, expanding our understanding of the world. Gugu Waterfall, Guizhou. Hidden deep in the green, densely forested mountains of Guizhou province, Gugu Waterfall remains invisible even to most locals living outside the nearest villages. It is located in a remote, inaccessible forested area and is surrounded by high, wet cliffs overgrown with moss and lichens, creating the feeling of a lost world. Water rushes down from a height of over 80 meters, crashing through the air and forming a misty cloud below, which hangs permanently at the foot, filling the air with moisture and coolness. The waterfall can only be accessed on foot via a narrow, winding path that loops through the forest and occasionally climbs over rocks, making a visit a real mini-adventure in cutting off casual tourists. There is no tourist infrastructure here, no railing paths, stores, or cafes, allowing nature to remain untouched and wild. The locals, who belong to small ethnic groups, call it the Singing Waterfall because of the distinctive, multifaceted sound created by falling water hitting the rocks and filling the gorge. In spring and summer, when the surrounding forests come to life, the waterfall is especially picturesque because of the lush greenery framing the water flows. Next to the waterfall is a small, mysterious karst cave, which serves as a shelter for bats. Tourists hardly ever come here, making the place ideal for solitude, meditation, and total immersion in nature. Gugu Falls is considered a place of power among some local ethnic groups who come here to perform rituals. Baishutai Village, Yunnan, this amazing place located in the remote northern part of Yunnan province, is famous for its unique limestone terraces. These dazzling white steps, formed by thousands of years of mineral deposits from calcium-rich hot springs, look like giant frozen cascades slowly descending down the mountain. They are reminiscent of Turkey's more famous Pamukkale, but thankfully remain largely ignored by mass tourism, retaining their purity and tranquility. The water flowing down the terraces is rich in dissolved calcium, and its slow flow is constantly forming new, fragile layers of sediment. Baishutai Village is located in a picturesque, secluded place surrounded by majestic mountains and green valleys. The local people, particularly the Naxian Tibetans, consider this place sacred and hold traditional rituals and ceremonies related to nature and spirits near the terraces. Access to the village and the terraces is only possible via a rather difficult mountain road. There are no large hotels here, just a few simple guest houses in the style of traditional local architecture, offering basic comfort. In the morning, when the sun is just rising over the mountains, the terraces are especially beautiful because of the soft light and the reflections of the sky and the surrounding landscape in the small puddles of water accumulated on the steps. Baishui is widely regarded as one of the most scenic and underrated natural wonders of the Yunnan region, a place of tranquility and natural beauty. Guanmingshan Mountain, Liaoning. Located in northeastern China's Liaoning province, this mountain is famous for its extraordinary colored rocks, which, like a chameleon, change their hue depending on the time of day, light, and weather conditions. Rock formations here are layered structures of sandstone and other minerals, which under the influence of erosion and oxidation have acquired bright colors, from red and orange to yellow and purple. They are reminiscent of the famous Zhangye Dangxia Rainbow Mountains in Gansu province, but surprisingly are hardly known to the general public and are not easily accessible. The mountain is covered with dense deciduous forests, which makes it especially beautiful in autumn when the foliage turns all shades of red, yellow, and gold, creating a stunning contrast with the colored rocks. The mountain is home to rare species of birds and small mammals, making it of interest to biologists and nature lovers. At the foot of the mountain is an ancient village with well-preserved wooden buildings dating back to the Qing dynasty, where time seems to have stopped. In the past, Guanmingshan Mountain was used as an important strategic point and observation post in wartime. The trails on the mountain are well-maintained but hardly marked, which adds an element of exploration. This place is especially popular with enthusiast photographers who come here for the unique scenery. Guanmingshan remains one of the most underappreciated and underexplored landscape sites in northern China, hiding its beauty from most eyes. Ping'an Village, Guangxi. This quiet and incredibly picturesque place is nestled in the Longji Mountains in Guangxi Autonomous Region, in the heart of southern China. Ping'an Village, its name means peace and tranquility, is famous for its unique, breathtaking rice terraces that are carved into the mountainsides and stretch for many kilometers, creating an amazing, almost mystical landscape that changes color depending on the season, from mirror-like in spring, when the fields are flooded, to bright green in summer and golden yellow in autumn. In Ping'an Village itself, life goes on in a measured, traditional rhythm, and the local Zhuang people still practice the traditional rural labor of rice cultivation, preserving the ancient farming methods. Around the village are tiny villages inhabited by ethnic groups such as Yao, Yoi, and Zhuang, who preserve their unique customs and languages. Along the terraces, you can see the old wooden houses of the Zhuang people with characteristic thatched or tiled roofs, which harmonize with the natural surroundings. Ping'an is the perfect place for those who want to experience the authentic atmosphere of a Chinese village, learn about the lives of ethnic minorities, and enjoy the incredible man-made natural beauty of the rice terraces. Longmen Karst Caves, Henan, not to be confused with the famous Longmen Grottos with Buddhist statues. These Longmen Karst Caves, located in Henan province, are mysterious and relatively obscure underground galleries hidden in the depths of the mountains. What makes these caves special are not only their natural formations, stalactites, stalagmites, underground rivers, but also the bas-reliefs and sculptures found here, carved in stone, depicting gods, Buddhist monks, and scenes from mythology, which have an ancient history, possibly dating back to the early dynasties. Longmen Caves are known for their archaeological and geological value, but due to their remoteness and lack of widespread publicity, they are not often visited by mass tourists, which helps keep them undiscovered and authentic. Some of the bas-reliefs made by ancient craftsmen, perhaps even from the Tang era, still impress with their quality, detail, and expressiveness. In addition, the caves are known for their unique natural atmosphere, where the constant temperature, high humidity, and darkness create a mystical, almost otherworldly effect, enhanced by the bizarre shapes of stalactites. The place, despite its secrecy, attracts explorers, speleologists, and history and archaeology buffs who appreciate the opportunity to touch China's ancient heritage and explore the underground wonders. Chaohu Lake, Anhui. This is one of the largest freshwater lakes in China, located in the picturesque Anhui province, west of Shanghai. Chaohu Lake, shaped like a crescent moon, washes the shores of several small fishing villages and hamlets that have remained largely unchanged since the early inhabitants began to rely on the lake for their livelihood. Chaohu is famous for its picturesque scenery, wide expanses of water, islands and peninsulas, and on its shores and in its vicinity, one can find hot spring outlets, which locals use for bathing and recuperation, believing in their healing properties. The surrounding nature, green hills, fields, small mountains, fills this place with a unique atmosphere of tranquility, peace, and harmony with nature. The lake is also an important place for ornithologists and birdwatching enthusiasts, as rare species of migratory and waterfowl can often be found on its shores and in its waters. Chao. Moshan Mountain, Jiangsu, located in Jiangsu Province, is one of the most sacred sites for followers of Taoism in China and is steeped in many legends and mystical stories related to immortal and spiritual practices. The slopes and peaks of the mountain are home to ancient Taoist monasteries and temples, which have been important centers of Taoist spirituality, scholarship, and practice for centuries. Today, Maoshan attracts not only pilgrims seeking to touch the shrines, but also lovers of ancient Chinese philosophy, culture, and history. The misty trails that lead to the top of the mountain, winding through bamboo groves and tea plantations, create an unforgettable atmosphere of solitude, peace, and immersion. Numerous mountain springs with clear water can be found here, as well as ancient trees and unique plants that are considered sacred in the Taoist tradition and used in traditional medicine. Maoshan has become a place where ancient Taoist rituals, meditation, and qigong practices have been preserved for centuries, and many tourists come here to find inspiration, peace, and perhaps answers to spiritual questions. It is a place where history and spirituality are closely intertwined with nature. Gado Village, Tibet, is a highland village located in the remote and inaccessible areas of the Tibetan mountains. It is a place where the traditions and way of life of the local Tibetan people have not changed over the centuries due to its isolation from the outside world. The village stands away from the main tourist routes, which allows it to retain its unique atmosphere, authenticity, and culture. In Jado, you can see traditional Tibetan houses made of stone and wood, with flat roofs and colorful prayer flags fluttering in the wind. Here you can immerse yourself in the world of the Tibetan people, where Buddhist religion, ancient customs, and close connection with nature play an important role in everyday life. The village has preserved unique traditional crafts and arts, such as weaving from yak and sheep wool, pottery from local clay, and wood carving decorating houses and household items. The locals still lead a traditional way of life, growing vegetables and barley in the highland fields, herding yaks, sheep, and creating handicrafts that can be purchased directly from the village. Jado is a place that is ideal for those who want to learn more about the culture, religion, and life of the Tibetan people, feel the spirit of the Himalayas, and experience a true cultural immersion. Shibaoshan Temple, Yunnan, located in Yunnan Province near the city of Dali, is an amazing and little-known ancient Buddhist temple that was literally built into the rock. Some of the temple structures are in the natural grottos and niches of the cliff, while others are attached to it, creating a unique and fascinating architectural ensemble. The temple is famous for its magnificent carved bas-reliefs carved directly into the rock, depicting scenes from Buddhist mythology, the life of Buddha, as well as ancient statues of bodhisattvas and monks preserved since ancient times. Shibaoshan was founded over 1,300 years ago during the Nanzhao Kingdom, and its architecture and sculptures reflect the characteristic features of Chinese Buddhist culture of that period mixed with local traditions. The temple is located in a scenic area surrounded by green mountains, dense pine forests, and tea plantations, which creates an atmosphere of peace, spiritual silence, and harmony with nature. This place is not only an important religious center for Buddhists, but also a valuable cultural and historical heritage of the region. Today, the temple attracts pilgrims and a small number of travelers who appreciate both its ancient history and architecture and the natural beauty of the surrounding landscape. Bingu Valley, Gansu is a valley hidden from the eyes of most tourists, located in the scenic mountainous area of Gansu province. Not far from the famous Zhangye Dangxia colored mountains, but less known and visited. The valley is famous for its unusual geological formations of red sandstone and conglomerates, which under the influence of wind and water erosion have taken bizarre shapes resembling giant stone towers, pillars, castles, mushrooms, and other figures. These shapes, contrasting with the green hills, create a spectacular, almost otherworldly landscape. Many small water bodies, streams, and even miniature waterfalls can be found in the valley, which enhance the feeling of seclusion, tranquility, and unspoiled nature. This place is a great choice for those who love hiking, trekking, and exploring wildlife and unique geological sites. Along the valley, there are small villages where the local Hui people practice agriculture and traditional crafts. The Bingu Valley is an ideal destination for geology enthusiasts, hikers, and photographers who want to capture unique natural landscapes away from the crowds. Kaitian Ancient Village, Hebei is a quiet and secluded place located in Hebei province, close to Beijing, but still remains little known. The village is characterized by well-preserved buildings from the Ming Dynasty, the 1368-1644. The architecture of the village literally transports you back to the time of this great dynasty, with its traditional one-story gray brick houses with tiled roofs, narrow cobblestone streets, and beautiful courtyards hidden behind high walls. The village is surrounded by picturesque hills, green fields, and fruit orchards, which gives the place a special atmosphere of tranquility, comfort, and immersion in the past. In Kaishan, you can see ancient temples dedicated to local deities, as well as traditional handicraft shops where craftsmen continue to create products using ancient techniques, such as wood and stone products. The village was once an important trading post, and today it retains its historical significance and authenticity, attracting a small number of travelers who appreciate its atmosphere and intactness. Kaishan Village is a real corner of old China where you can feel the spirit of the past, see the traditional way of life, and enjoy the quietness of the countryside. Mengdong Gorge, Hunan, is a gorge hidden from most tourists, located in a scenic mountainous area of Hunan province known for its karst scenery, like Wulingyuan, but smaller and lesser known. Mengdong is famous for its clear, sometimes turquoise river, which flows through a deep, winding valley surrounded by high, verdant cliffs and canyons. The scenery here is breathtaking and wild. The gorge offers many scenic hiking trails along the river and along the mountainsides. The Mandong River is also popular with water enthusiasts for whitewater rafting and kayaking, allowing you to see the gorge from a different perspective and experience an adrenaline rush. The Mandong Gorge is still relatively unknown to foreign tourists, which preserves its pristine beauty and natural purity. You can often see rapids and small waterfalls on the river, which add even more magic and scenic beauty to the place. It is an ideal place for lovers of outdoor activities, hiking, rafting, and those seeking solitude in a beautiful natural corner, away from noisy tourist routes. Badain Jiran Desert, Inner Mongolia, is one of the most unique, quiet, and mysterious deserts in China, located in Inner Mongolia in Gansu province. It impresses with its incredible, some of the highest singing dunes in the world, and an amazing number of lakes hidden between the dunes, over 100. The desert remains sparsely populated and inaccessible, which gives it a special atmosphere of mystery, solitude, and unspoiledness. The phenomenon of singing dunes consists in the fact that under certain conditions, wind, humidity, the sand on the slopes of the dunes emits a low, rumbling sound resembling singing or humming. The sounds that the dunes make can indeed resemble the singing or even the hum of an airplane, which has become a major natural phenomenon that attracts explorers and a small number of adventurers. The desert is also home to numerous hidden lakes, some saltwater, others freshwater, which despite the harsh desert conditions, support a unique ecosystem with plants and animals that have adapted to living in such an environment. Traveling through Badain Saran is a unique opportunity to explore natural wonders rarely found in other parts of the world. The terrain here is incredibly picturesque, with golden dunes, blue lakes, and clear skies. For many, this place has come to symbolize the secluded, wild beauty of China. Huayuan Ancient Town. Anhui is an ancient town located in Anhui Province, which has managed to preserve the atmosphere of 19th century China and earlier times. Little known among the masses, Huayuan attracts history and authenticity lovers with its ancient architecture, narrow cobblestone streets, beautiful traditional Chinese-style buildings in the atmosphere of frozen time. Here you can find well-preserved ancient temples, graceful pagodas, and residential houses built in classical Chinese style with carved wooden elements, curved roofs, and cozy courtyards. The city is famous for its rich history dating back several centuries and is still a place where you can feel the spirit of the past as you stroll through its streets. Huayuan is also known for its traditional market where locals sell handicrafts, fresh produce, herbs, and spices. It is an ideal place for those who want to see ancient China, its life and architecture without crowding the crowded tourist routes. Tianqi Lake in Moguchang, Heavenly Lake, Xinjiang in Moguchang, is a secluded high mountain lake located in the remote western part of Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region in the Tian Shan Mountains. It is one of the most beautiful mountain lakes in China. The water in the lake is incredibly clear, transparent, and has a deep blue or emerald hue, reflecting the sky and the surrounding coniferous forested mountains and snowy peaks. Tianqi Lake is surrounded by majestic nature, where mountains rise into clouds and the air is filled with the coolness and freshness of the highlands. The place is characterized by tranquility, seclusion, and some special pristine beauty, making it ideal for outdoor recreation, hiking, and meditation. Mass tourists are rarely seen here, and most visitors are only on short excursions to the lake itself, not exploring the surrounding area. Tianqi Lake is not just a natural attraction, but a truly sacred place for local people, surrounded by myths and legends. Jilin Sand Museum. Jilin is a unique and virtually unknown museum located in Jilin Province, northern China, in an area with sand dunes. This museum is characterized by an unusual concept in which sand becomes the main exhibit and object of study. The museum is dedicated to the study of different types of sand, in terms of color, grain size, composition, and their role in desert, semi-desert, and other natural ecosystems. The museum building features various exhibits related to the sandy landscape, the history of dune formation, and scientific research that helps to better understand China's unique desert ecosystems. This place is rarely on tourist itineraries, making it ideal for those who want to learn something new and unusual about the nature of China, to go beyond the standard perceptions. The Sand Museum in Jilin is not only a scientific attraction, but also a unique cultural site that attracts connoisseurs of Untouched Mountain. Henan is a vast mountainous area located in Henan Province that, despite its considerable natural beauty, remains relatively hidden from the masses of tourists compared to other famous Chinese mountains. Although parts of the Yuntaishan mountain area, such as the Yuntai waterfall, are known and visited, many of its secluded trails, deep gorges, hidden waterfalls, and ancient temples are not often visited by travelers. Yuntaishan Mountain is famous for its unique nature. High rocky peaks covered with greenery, narrow gorges with clear rivers, cascading waterfalls, and misty landscapes. These places attract travelers who are looking for tranquility, inspiration, and the opportunity to do trekking away from the crowds. Walking along the mountain trails will not only allow you to enjoy nature, but also learn about the traditions of Chinese Taoism, which has a long history in these parts. There are several ancient Taoist temples and monasteries on the mountain. Yuntashan is a hidden gem for lovers of mountain scenery, hiking, and cultural travel. Shangli Ancient Village. Sichuan is a cozy and well-preserved ancient village located in Sichuan Province, near Yan City. The village has managed to preserve the atmosphere of the Qing dynasty when it was an important trading point on the way to Tibet. Shangli features traditional wooden houses with carved facades and curved roofs, stone arch bridges over the river, ancient courtyards, and picturesque cobblestone streets, which invariably attract lovers of historical architecture and peaceful atmosphere. This place retains its cultural traditions, and you can still find artisans here who continue to make handicrafts such as wood and bamboo products. Shangli's cozy atmosphere, rich history, and picturesque riverside location make it attractive to those looking for a secluded place to travel to China, wanting to see authentic rural life. The village is also famous for its traditional festivals, which have been held here for many years, preserving ancient customs. Luofu Waterfalls Guangdong is a series of picturesque cascading waterfalls located in Guangdong Province, one of the most verdant and scenic areas of southern China. The waterfalls are surrounded by dense bamboo forests, lush subtropical vegetation, and ancient Buddhist and Taoist temples located on the mountainsides, which gives this place a special magical, calming charm. The water rushing down from the heights forms many cascades and pools, and the surrounding nature, greenery, humidity, fresh air fills the atmosphere of calm and harmony. There are small, sometimes steep hiking trails along the waterfalls, allowing travelers to explore this natural area by hiking up or down to the bottom. Luofu Waterfalls is an ideal destination for lovers of natural beauty, hikers, and those seeking peace and coolness away from the noise of the city, especially in the hot climate of Guangdong. The place also has spiritual value, as it is home to ancient temples where pilgrims and people seeking peace come to visit. Huaihai Grassland, Yunnan is a scenic highland plateau located in Yunnan province near the border with Tibet. It is one of the hidden natural gems of the region, which unlike other famous tourist destinations in Yunnan, such as Lijiang or Shangri-La, retains its pristine beauty while remaining little known. The plateau is a vast green steppes and hills surrounded by snowy mountaintops. This place is famous for its rich high mountain flora, wildflowers bloom in summer, and fauna, as well as the large number of wild animals, yaks, horses, that live in this area, freely grazing in the meadows. Huaihai is an ideal place for those who want to relax in nature, horseback riding, enjoying the silence, clean air and solitude of the highlands. The plateau is also a place where traditional Tibetan festivals and rituals are held, as the region is home to the Tibetan population. Beipanjiang Cave, Guizhou. These little studied caves, located in Guizhou province near the famous Beipanjiang Bridge, hold amazing underground wonders. The cave system goes deep underground and is part of the region's vast karst system. Inside the caves, one can find not only majestic stalactites and stalagmites of the most bizarre shapes, but also an underground river that flows through the huge grottos and galleries, creating unique natural pictures and special acoustics. These caves are not a tourist attraction, and visiting them involves certain difficulties and risks. Special equipment and escorts are required, which preserves their pristine beauty, unspoiled and mysterious. Locals say that in these caves you can often hear strange sounds of water, echo and wind, creating an atmosphere of mysticism and mystery. The place is ideal for professional speleologists, explorers and adventurers who seek silence and solitude in the most unexpected corners of nature, ready for serious exploration. Beipanjiang Caves is a real find for those who are passionate about underground geology, cave exploration, and natural wonders. Nanjizi Lake, Qinghai is a small salt lake located in Qinghai province on the Tibetan Plateau, a place where the vast steppes meet the sky in extraordinary harmony. The lake stands out for its surreal scenery and unique natural phenomena. During certain seasons, especially after rains, a luminous or pearlescent effect appears on its surface or along its shoreline, presumably caused by microorganisms or minerals, creating an almost mystical atmosphere and reflections of incredible beauty. The water in the lake has a high concentration of salt and minerals, which gives it unusual, sometimes fantastic shades of blue, green, and pink colors. Around the lake grows a unique vegetation adapted to salty soils, and the fauna is represented by rare species of birds that nest on its shores. This place is not so popular among mass tourists, which allows to preserve its nature and silence. Nanji Lake is a true natural treasure that is not often featured in guidebooks, but it attracts photographers and travelers looking for unusual natural phenomena and secluded landscapes. Lianhua Mountain, Gansu, is a sacred Buddhist mountain located in the scenic but little-known mountains of Gansu Province, northwest China. It is an important pilgrimage center for local Buddhists, but is virtually unvisited by ordinary tourists, which keeps it quiet, secluded, and sacred. On its summit and slopes is an ancient Buddhist monastery that seems to have become part of the mountain itself, surrounded by scenic views of forested mountain peaks and green valleys below. The monks who live here lead a secluded lifestyle, practicing meditation, studying sacred texts, and conducting rituals in the shade of majestic trees and temples hidden among the cliffs. Lianhua Mountain is a place where one can take a break from the hustle and bustle of the outside world, immerse oneself in deep reflection and spiritual practices, enjoying the silence and unity with the majestic nature. Pilgrims who visit this region find a unique atmosphere of harmony, tranquility, and spiritual purity. Zhujiajiao, non-touristy part. Shanghai is an ancient water city just an hour's drive from the center of Shanghai, known for its picturesque canals, ancient bridges, and well-preserved historical architecture. However, like many popular destinations, much of Zhujiajiao has fallen victim to mass tourism with its souvenir shops and crowds of visitors. But not all parts of this water city are embraced by mass tourism. In remote alleys, away from the main streets and main bridges, you can find the real, authentic spirit of old China, with its traditional white houses with black roofs, small stone bridges, quiet canals, and local markets where they sell to their own people. There is relative peace and quiet, and you can feel the atmosphere of an ancient city that has not yet been completely changed by modern tourism. It is an ideal place for those who want to see Zhujiajiao as it was centuries ago, before the masses of tourists, and enjoy its unspoiled beauty and atmosphere. Shixi Village is Shixi Wetlands, Zhejiang. Shixi Wetlands National Park, located in the heart of the Yangtze River Delta near Hangzhou City, Zhejiang Province, is a unique nature reserve that is famous for its flooded forests, ponds, canals, and fishing huts located right on the water or on small islets. Shixi is characterized by the richest flora and fauna, especially during the migration of birds, for which it is an important stopping place. Here you can find traditional village houses built on stilts or floating platforms in a unique style that harmonizes with the local natural environment. The fishermen and farmers who live in these areas maintain a traditional way of life by fishing in ponds and canals, growing rice, silk, and other plants. Shixi Village is ideal for those looking for a place for quiet boat rides on the canals, bird watching, or just want to enjoy the peace and beauty of nature without traveling far from the big city. The Tulu Trails, Fujian, are unique, massive mud brick structures of the Hakka people, found mainly in the mountainous areas of Fujian province. These structures have an unusual shape, most often a round or square fortress built from a mixture of clay, sand, lime, and rice husks, with a wooden frame inside. Tulus serve as a home for multiple generations of the same family, representing a veritable village under one roof, with shared kitchens, wells, and courtyards. Tulu trails are routes that lead through villages where these ancient Tulu have been preserved. Walking along these trails not only allows you to explore the unique traditional architecture of Tulu, but also to experience the life of the Hakka people, who still retain many ancient customs, language, and crafts. The path passes through picturesque green rice paddies, tea plantations, small villages, and old stone bridges, creating an atmosphere of solitude, immersion in history and culture. It is an ideal destination for those who want to learn more about the lives of Chinese people in their traditional surroundings and see unique architectural forms. Feilai Temple, Yunnan, located on a mountainside in Yunnan province, is not only an important Buddhist shrine, but also a natural attraction due to its spectacular location. The temple is built at altitude, overlooking the majestic snowy peaks of Meili Snow Mountain, one of the most sacred peaks in Tibetan Buddhism. The temple's location allows its visitors to enjoy breathtaking panoramic views of mountain scenery, snow-capped peaks, and deep valleys that seem very close, especially at dawn when the sun's rays illuminate the peaks. The temple houses ancient Buddhist relics and holds daily prayers, meditations, and rituals. This place attracts not only devout pilgrims, but also those seeking solitude, spiritual purification, and inspiration amidst the majestic and mystical nature of the Himalayas. The dawn over the Meili Snow Mountain, observed from the Feilai Temple, is considered to be one of the most beautiful and spiritual spectacles. Labulasong, Xinjiang is a little-known border region in the Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region that impresses with its fantastic rock formations, reminiscent of landscapes from another planet and the preserved traditions of nomadic peoples. Here, amidst vast steppes, high mountains, and deep gorges, nomadic peoples such as Kazakhs or Kyrgyz live a traditional way of life, driving herds of animals, sheep, goats, horses, yaks, in search of pastures. Labulasong attracts wildlife enthusiasts and ethnographers with its incredible landscapes, where vast expanses of steppe alternate with majestic cliffs, canyons, and clear rivers. In this region, you can see traditional nomadic camps, yurts where shepherds and their families live their unique way of life, which has changed little over the centuries. This place is ideal for those looking for exotic travel, cultural immersion, and the opportunity to see wildlife and traditional nomadic life away from the usual tourist routes. Fuxian Lake. Yunnan is one of the deepest and most beautiful freshwater lakes in China, located in the southern part of Yunnan province, near Kunming. The water in the lake is incredibly clear and transparent. Visibility reaches dozens of meters, and around it are scattered green forests, hills, and small mountains, creating picturesque landscapes. Fuxian Lake attracts tourists with its quietness, tranquility, and opportunities for various water and shoreline activities, including swimming, fishing, sailing, as well as hiking and biking in the scenic surroundings. This place is ideal for those who seek solitude, want to enjoy pure nature and active recreation away from noisy tourist centers. The lake is also known for its archaeological mysteries. The remains of an ancient city were discovered at its bottom, presumably sunken thousands of years ago. Our virtual tour of China's hidden places has come to an end. We visited villages where time stands still, saw ancient temples built into rocks, walked along unique geological formations, immersed ourselves in the atmosphere of mysterious caves and vast deserts. These places fill the heart with wonder, admiration, and respect for the nature and rich culture of China, which still live and persist in these unlit corners of the world. We hope this journey has given you new knowledge, inspiration for future adventures, and reminded you how important it is to appreciate and preserve the uniqueness of every corner of our planet. Each of these places is mysterious, unique, and attractive in its own way. And perhaps someday you can find yourself in these picturesque spots of the world for real, experiencing their atmosphere and touching their history. China is indeed full of hidden gems, and although traveling to these remote places is not always easy, it takes preparation, time, and sometimes knowledge of the Chinese language? If you dare, you are in for a real discovery that will stay with you for a lifetime. Don't forget to leave a comment below this video and share your impressions. Have you been to any of these places? Do you know any other hidden corners of China? Share this video with your friends who love traveling and discovering new things. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss more amazing travel experiences, stories about the most unusual places on Earth, and dives into the history and culture of different countries. Thanks for being with us, and see you on your next adventure.